So we went down to rescue the Republic on Sunday. We conducted some interviews and we wanted to see what kind of people we would find. Sadly, some of the interviews were not salvageable due to us having our camera on the wrong setting. This is the first time that I've done boots on the ground interviews at a political rally, so some technical issues were bound to happen. Sadly, some of the interviews that were lost were some of the left-leaning people, and it makes me feel like a failure because the video seems kind of biased towards the right. I wasn't trying to have any kind of bias in the video at all. I would have let whatever anybody said be what you would see and hear in the video. I have some pictures at the end to show the people who I interviewed that I don't have the audio or anything, just a picture. But there was people on the left who are lifelong Democrats, definitely anti-war, anti-big pharma, anti-just giant corporations having all this money in politics. There's people on the right who are very vocal about their support for Donald Trump and also believing for most of RFK's policies as well. People there just to see the notable speakers that were there. It was good to see that many people just unifying from different backgrounds. But without further ado, here's the video.
This is Nathan Hoefel with 1212 Studios. We're here at Rescue the Republic down in D.C. We're going to interview some people right now. One of the MC/intro hosts is Jordan Peterson and somebody I do not know. But Jordan Peterson here is bringing in the crowd. We're just going to go around and interview people. We're not really going to try to get to the big names, but we want to see what kind of people came down to D.C. to an event that's kind of in the middle politically. I imagine we're going to find people from the right, from the left, from the middle, and people who don't care. All right, let's go. So, what brought you here today?
Well, I'm working in security to ensure that everyone is safe and protected.
Okay. Do you have any belief in what's going on, or are you just here on the job?
I do have a belief, and it's not part of my organization. I believe that we have the right to freedom of speech with accountability. I believe that we have a right to decide whether we want to be vaccinated or not. I believe in our freedom. That's why I'm an immigrant and I came to America, but I came legally. The immigration situation is complex because there was a bill on the table and it was told to be killed by the Republicans. So, but I do believe that it should be regulated. Everyone just doesn't get to just walk in. We didn't get to walk in. There was a process, a due process. The ones that are already here, I don't think they should be sent back. I'm concerned about the Haitians. I'm concerned about the Dominican Republicans and the Cubans that are being capsized in the oceans, turned back. I'm concerned about African people that are not allowed to enter as everyone else. So we have a complicated situation. I believe that everyone has a right to protest freely in a respectable manner without violence. And so I have no problem with what's going on here, except a few issues, but that's not neither here nor there. But everyone has a right to protest.
I found some people that I actually know, which is funny. We were at a pro-life rally not long ago, and Danny here said that he was going to be down in D.C. today, so we were going to meet up. So what brings you to D.C. today?
You know, I'm part of the resistance, I guess you'd call it that. Isn't that what this is called? Join the resistance, you know. I oppose everything the current administration stands for, and I'm hoping Trump getting in office can do something to push against the establishment.
In terms of the speakers here, which one really drew you here?
I'm excited to see RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard. I like Rob Schneider too. Just almost everyone on the list. Brett Weinstein. It's an unbelievable list. A once in a lifetime thing, if you ask me.
As somebody who's more on the Trump side, what kind of policies that RFK talked about that you're happy to see Trump maybe adopt?
Yeah, I mean, make America healthy again. I'm hoping Trump actually does something about that. Follow RFK on those lines. I think they're more in the right direction in foreign policy than anyone in power right now in Washington, and the war in Ukraine. Stop sending troops overseas for no reason. Fight the military-industrial complex, That's what it's about.
How about you? What brings you here? Anything similar or maybe a little different?
Yeah, it's about the same. RFK, Tulsi. I really like General Douglas McGregor. He's been right about Ukraine war the whole time. I'm really excited to hear just people from all walks of life come together for once and unite under the same banner of unity. So that's what I'm really looking forward to hearing today, is that there's not just Republicans here, there's Democrats, Republicans, Independents. We're all coming here because we're all against everything that's here. Everything around us is against us. We're standing in the heart of the lion's den, and we're showing them that, we can unify. We don't have to be apart and fight each other. We can be together, and we can be together right here in the heart of the lion's den. So that's what I'm here for.
I just singled out somebody who had a good shirt, which is Jocko Willing's brand. So somebody else of a different maybe mindset, maybe not pure MAGA. He didn't want to be on camera, but he was coming down to see what kinds of people were here to show out. And we talked a little bit about the different kinds of people. And he talked about a little bit how the Revolutionary War was only fought by a very small percentage of the population, and the rest kind of sat back and was waiting to see what would happen. And he brought up the point that if this doesn't work, if there's not enough people here, which for a rally in the Capitol so far, not that many people compared to if Trump had a rally, maybe even if Kamala had a rally. Like, it's not as many as you would hope, but we don't know what effects did January 6th have on people on not wanting to show up to the Capitol and getting caught up in something, because there's still people in solitary confinement who just ran into a Capitol building. Like, yeah, maybe they're criminals, but they don't deserve to be tortured. But that would deter people. So he's wondering what would happen if this doesn't work. What is the alternative? If Big Pharma, the military-industrial complex, continues to just have their sway over the land, what could a populace do to stand up to that?
They're worried about January 6th. Yeah. Every conservative rally in D.C. has been kind of fear-mongered as another J6. So if people that wanted to come, you'd probably got perverse to not come, because there's so many people so worried about being thrown in jail over nothing. Just going to January 6th, even if you weren't violent, you were prosecuted. There's grandmothers in prison right now just for walking down the rotunda on the rope section that are in jail right now. So that puts a lot of fear in people's hearts that if you come to D.C. to protest, there's a chance you can be put in prison if something goes rogue.
His question to me, he didn't want to be on film, but he was like, if this doesn't work, do you even have a clue what could be done if something like this, if we can't rally in mass, what is there to do after that?
I think it depends on what people's minds are at right now. Are we all comfortable to just eat the unhealthy food, be on our phones all the time, and let them take over our lives? Or are we ready to, if this doesn't work, go further? I'm not saying violence. I'm saying things that Gandhi did, things that Martin Luther King did, things that other peaceful revolts to their establishments have done. I don't think a vigilanteism way of taking over America will ever work, mainly because those guys are immediately demonized and it would never work anyways. So if this doesn't work, which there's a more than 50% chance it's not going to work, we just have to keep on going and try to open as many people who want their eyes to be open. That's the problem is many people, they have a clove over their eyes, and as long as they're eating good, quote unquote good, and as long as they have their smartphones, as long as they can live in a home and stay warm in the winter, they're not going to raise too much fuss. It takes a smart population to realize that the elites are screwing us over. And our IQ is dropping as a nation. Our sense of morality is dropping as a nation. So what you see right now are what's left of probably most of the conservative movement that is still awake. And it's our job now, whether that's fair or not, it's our job to make that group bigger. So that's what I think when it comes to, I don't know if this is going to make an impact or not, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't try.
So what brings you out to this rally?
I saw it about a month ago Brett Weinstein talking about it, and it's very easy to see how polarized the culture and how polarized people have got. So something that seems like it's trying to work more on pulling people together than pulling people apart, I was like, I can get behind that.
So obviously by your hat, you're a little bit on the right, but I mean, MAGA and conservative, a little different. What about somebody like, obviously one of the focal speakers would probably be RFK. What about him brings you out here, from him coming from the Democratic Party?
Yeah. Truthfully, RFK to me seemed like the only guy that was talking about issues and not people. Like, I love Trump, but he loves to, you know, attack things that don't matter as much as then attacking the issues, which is what RFK did a lot. And another person too, Jordan Peterson, I'm glad that he's here because he talks a lot about like the return to normalcy, so to speak. And so I like that.
So when the issues kind of come up and they kind of go, they want to be anti-war, anti-big pharma, is that something that you fall under, that umbrella, I believe?
Yeah, I think if you think about it, anytime people have tried to aggregate a bunch of resources all into one place, when you think of the times that's happened, it hasn't really been, you know, for the benefit of everybody. And so when you see the big anything, big and then anything, them trying to aggregate resources like that and pool everything together, it's probably not good for everybody else. And so, you know, the more we can try to fight the companies doing that, I think would be the better.
Awesome, man. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
That was good. That was good. We're hearing the same things from MAGA people. We're hearing the same things from liberals. They're talking about MAGA people on the stage. They know they got to list off different people that are here. There's RFK fans, there's Alex Jones fans, there's Trump fans, there's Brett Weinstein fans. I'm sure there's some Joe Rogan fans up in here. But everybody's saying the same thing. Let's get out of war. Let's take down big pharma. Let's get our kids healthy again. That seems to be true, that everybody's coming together to agree on that.
Breathe in through your mouth. 2, 3. Through your nose. 2, 3. Say, letting go of the worries that are holding in my body.
We'll respect the interview going on right here.
Watch your mind.
Go around.
And half of them are universal.
Okay, so what we want to do is we want to get ready for everybody. Let's sing, all of us together into one big sing. If you can do it, yeah, let's do it. Because healing happens in community.
You guys care to be interviewed at all?
Sure. Healing doesn't mean when we want to heal, we're sick, we want to retreat, but if we come out, we heal. Yeah, sure. So take your right foot, cross it over your...
So what brings you guys to a Save the Republic rally?
Deserve to live in a free country.
Well, I fought to create this. I fought to create this republic, and so I would certainly want to rescue the republic. Only I prefer the saying "recover the republic," because to cover is to pray, and to recover is to pray again. And so we need to appeal to heaven for America, pray for America, and cover America in prayer, and recover America in prayer.
Was that the first little dig that you've gotten so far today? I mean, so far my experience has been rather peaceful and people coming together, but that was the first negative thing I've seen.
I can't tell whether he was trying to be facetious or serious, but sometimes it's best to move on to folks like you.
Appreciate it. So you're just calling for, like, we just got to come together and pray, and, you know, because if we repent to the Lord, maybe he'll restore the land, kind of thing.
There's actually a wonderful Sunday evening prayer by Washington at age 20. Unfortunately, I can't recite it to you, but I can show it to you. It's just amazing. But we have had 2 great awakenings in our country. We need a third. And this is the start of the third. This flag first flew in 1775 on the first 7 ships of our American Navy. This is a replica based on the facts of history. In a letter in the Library of Congress is Washington's aide, Colonel Joseph Reed, which says, appeal to heaven, not an appeal. Okay? And it's not a tree that looks like a Christmas tree because they didn't have sewing machines. That would hugely increase the amount of work to do a tree with 4, 6, 8 branches. Furthermore, it wouldn't last in the winds at sea as well. So the only surviving tree flag from the Revolution is a triangular shaped tree. So the facts of history, this is the true tree, true motto, Liberty Tree flag.
So what kind of stuff like from RFK and Russell Brand and those kinds of people, what brought, were they a reason to come here or just kind of the message?
Yes.
Rescue the Republic!
The health of America, you know, the Boy Scouts used to say it, physical health, mental health, and moral health. You know, that's not exactly, but that's essentially it. Right. And we have fallen from that in so many different ways. And so they're talking about essentially the physical health and the dietary health, which contributes to the physical health. And we've got to do that. And, you know, if we don't have that, if you just look at economic terms, if we cut our sickness by half, look what it would do for reducing our costs.
It was on the
you know, so it's a part of rescuing the Republic. There's so many aspects that need to be dealt with, and this is a very important aspect because if you have strong, healthy people, then they're going to be in positions to rescue the Republic.
Ask everybody to awesome. Thank you for your time. Sure. You guys are. I'm gonna get a shot of the whole flag. I'm just here with myself. My YouTube channel is 1212 Studios. I'm just here on my own with my friend Brad here being the cameraman.
And that's what we have here. Now,
hi. My name is Nathan.
Nathan, okay. So one more thing I wanted to say.
Oh yeah, all right. What was your name?
I'm Diane.
Diane? Great to meet you, Diane.
I have 3 children who were born in the 80s, and I did not vaccinate them. So, in the, you know, when they were born, I was doing research, and I didn't want to put anything in their body that I didn't know about.
How dare you do research?
Right. I know. I'm not. Whoops. I should have been submissive to authority. So I just want to say that I've been onto the vaccine stuff since then. And I mean, I write about it also, and I was aware of the studies and all of that they don't have a real placebo, or I mean, a real control stuff. So anyway, that's all.
Yeah.
What brings you here to the rally?
Well, I was here yesterday for the Rage Against the War Machine rally. I was here the previous time that the Rage Against the War Machine came out, and I like a lot of the people on the stage. I agree with the message. I personally was really affected by the lockdowns. I'm a bartender by trade. My job was essentially made illegal for large swaths of like the last few years, which imperiled my ability to provide for my family, and want to make sure that never happens again. So anyone who is in that camp of wanting to make sure lockdowns are impossible in the future is my friend, and I'd work with them. So.
Does RFK and Trump joining up, does that help swing a libertarian to go right at all in an election, or are you guys waiting on something else for your candidate? Sure. How does that work?
Yeah, I think very strategically about my vote, honestly, at this point. I'm in Oregon, so there's really not much my vote's going to do on a presidential level, one way or the other, besides register a protest. So I'm still kind of deciding a little bit which person I can vote for that will create the most, I guess, like signal that I am very unhappy with the status quo. So, and that could be, voting for my candidate Chase Oliver, but still thinking about that. So.
What could Trump say or promise? I know a promise from a politician only goes so far, but let's say in a hypothetical world where they come through, what are the things that he could do that would swing somebody like a libertarian like you?
It would have to be, well, see, the problem is that he had 4 years and he didn't, deliver the things he said he was. So, and it's not just him, it's the Republican Party apparatus also didn't deliver the things they said they, would, just like always. That's nothing new. So I'm at the point now where I want to see results, and since my vote doesn't really count in Oregon, I feel very freed up to not think about it too deeply and just register my protest vote. So, but again, I love working like in my state. I work with Republicans, I work with Greens, I work with people of different political factions. We work together. We work together to do, maskless shopping, during the lockdowns. We'd go into restaurants that were open that defied the mandates, so I really I don't think too much about whether I'm voting for candidate X or Y. More of like, who am I working with? How many people can I get working together that believe in liberty and peace to affect change? So that's how I kind of think about it.
Last question: are you just a Jimmy Dore fan, or have you done any work with him at all?
Oh, I'm a Jimmy Dore fan. I saw him last night, and it was great. This just happened to be the shirt I picked out when I came out, but I have lots of other far more anarchistic, like End the Wars, libertarian T-shirts. It's just the one I'm wearing right now. Yeah.
No, I appreciate that, Rep, and I love that guy. So thank you for your time, man.
You're welcome.
Well, one, to meet people like you, right? To be able to have my voice heard, because it's just not my voice, it's the people of Pennsylvania. We have a YouTube called MAGA Warriors, and it's just this movement, as you can see, it's just a beautiful thing. I was just telling another person about Trump, like why he's important to me. There is no man in my life that's fighting for me, and that man doesn't have to fight for poor little me, and he fights for me. So I'm out here fighting for him right now.
Okay. Can you go into a little bit of what you were saying about the investigations going on in certain areas that you thought was human trafficking?
Yeah, so Charleroi, people are hearing about Springdale, but Charleroi is local to us. Those people are upset, and they're just trying to get the word out, and so we kind of come together and say, how can we help you? So we've done some interviews there. I've witnessed some things. I'll go back in and witness some more things. There's definitely labor trafficking happening there. I don't know how much you want me to go into, but what some people are believing about a better life for these people, it's not. If you say to me, I want half of what you make, and you come knocking at my door asking for that, I don't think that's a better life. And I don't think anybody wants to be working for half of their money. Yeah.
So I hear, obviously, Trump supporter. What brings you to a place where it's RFK, it's Brett Weinstein, it's Tulsi Gabbard? I know some of them have come together a little bit, but what about what they've said would bring you out here?
Yeah. So, Kennedy, we love the blood. That family, we are like, yes. I mean, just the spiritual realm of that, the history of that. We're just Trump supporters. We're loving that. We're so happy to have all the Kennedy people on board, because we know he's going to be part of this. He's going to be part of the medical. He's going to fight for our kids, and we so need a voice like him. So we're excited for that. Just like I said, just hearing other people have discussions, being back in D.C. Yeah. There's a lot of us, we were in D.C., some things went down. Some people know lies about what went down, but we know the truth because we walk this land on various occasions in D.C. So we're happy back in D.C. We don't have any fear to be in D.C. Like I said, we're going back to Butler. I was there in Butler. We're going back. There is no time to have fear. Jesus is here, and we are about to take our America back.
You were in Butler when it all went down? What was that experience like?
I had a peace come over me that I've never had. When they talk about the peace that comes from the Bible, I had that. When you hear the shots, we thought they were fireworks, right? And everybody hits the ground, and I just start videoing it. And I had such a peace. Like, I'm not a videoer. I'm not good with technology. And I was able to just zoom in. And when he turns, he walks down those stairs. I see his face. I see his chest. It was like watching a movie, but I already knew the ending to it. I knew that he was good. Then he walks by me, and I did see the blood on his ear. But after that, it was weird. Like, nobody, I mean, there was a peace about people, because we really do love each other. Like, there's people from 50 states, right, coming to all these activities or, events. And it doesn't matter. They're looking out for you. But in that moment when they said you have to leave, we were concerned because we didn't even know what just happened. And now I've been back to Butler right after that happened. I was with some of the media. and we're not happy with what happened. I'm friends with Butler people up there, beautiful people. What's happened to their town? We're not happy that we're not getting justice. Trump is not getting justice for what happened there. And standing in the position that he had as an American fighting for us, that's not okay. We the people say that's not okay. That he should have a result. He should have had. There should have been evidence that the people should know about. That cleanup happened way too fast. And
You're thinking of a week's time and we all forget. Isn't that normal?
We're never going to forget. Yeah, we're never going to forget, especially the people that were there. Yeah, and what it's done to that community. Yeah.
That's incredible. You sounded like you were very close, like you saw him walk by you.
Yeah. I was 4 rows back when he comes down the stairs. Yeah, I was 4 rows back. Yeah.
That's incredible. That's wow. I can't believe you were that close. But is there any specific message that you want to get out there? Otherwise, I'll let you go. Obviously, we got fight in the background.
Yeah. Humble yourselves. Come to Jesus. Ask him every day to see something or hear something. I mean, this is what we need to be seeing and hearing. They're saying now if those kids come into America, we don't know where they get dispersed to. They have to intercept the organizations. We actually have a task force locally in Pennsylvania, and they say they have to get them over in Mexico before they come into the United States. So that right there, that's scary. Like, they're already in America. You think they'd be safe. They're not. They're going to be dispersed, and we're not going to be able to find them. So I just feel like people, just if they see my hat, they just look away. And if you care about kids, you can't look away anymore.
No, this stuff's definitely real. There's a woman in my church, been to El Salvador a few times on a mission trip. She has a sponsor kid down there, and she just got word from the woman running that ministry as a part of our church, and her kid disappeared along with his mother, who wasn't taking care of him. It was the grandma, but the word on the street is like they paid somebody to try to get them into the States, and I mean, we pray for protection for that kid, but this coyote thing, it's a real thing. Like and there's obviously nothing going on at the border to regulate any of that, so we don't know where they're going. So obviously we pray for the safety of these kids, but it's a real thing. So
it's such a big business anymore. We used to say, it's the drugs, it's the guns. It was the guns, and it went to the drugs, and it's the children. It's the human trafficking, because that body can be used over and over and over. And the unfortunacy is that they don't make it out, or if they do, they age out. And we're so thankful to those people that come out and give their testimonies. They're courageous. That's how I was moved to this movement, is I watched a lady with her testimony, and I want to go rescue those kids. So if there's anybody out there who can get me into that, like I've met congressmen, like I said, the governor, Doug Mastriano, I was ready to go to his task force. That didn't happen. That's another reason I'm here to meet somebody. I want to go. I'm in education. I want out of education, and I want to go rescue kids. Because I know if I go rescue a kid and I get shot or something happens, it doesn't matter. I'm going to heaven. And what a great way to go to heaven. I just want to save the kids.
There's definitely no fear here with this woman. Thank you so much for your time. What's brought you here today?
We're just sick of watching our future just get absolutely destroyed. And we want to feel like we're making a difference here, and our voices are heard, and we're seen by the people in power, that we care, and we want this country back to what it should be.
Do the people here, because you got like RFK and Tulsi, and they've kind of joined the Trump train, but I know libertarians aren't as keen on Trump. But
I'm keen on freedom.
Keen on freedom. Does that sway you in any way in the voting process, or just here to support what this cause is?
I don't think it's Democrats and Republicans anymore. I think this is Americans versus those that want to destroy the foundations this country was built on.
Do you think Trump falls into somebody who's going to do that, or do you think he's part of the problem and it's all about like maybe get RFK in for the next one or something like that?
I think Trump is here to help, and he's going to make the right decisions, and maybe not all of them, but he has our best interests at heart.
Thank you for your time. Yes, you mind giving us a little flag wave for the camera? Amen.
If you can send me the Premiere Pro session.
Okay.
Unless you guys use Final Cut.
No, I'm on Premiere. I use Premiere Pro.
But that doesn't mean that the fundamental story...
So I'm joined here with some guys I saw just interviewing around and want to do a little Inception. I'm wondering what kind of are you guys asking? What kind of story are you trying to tell with your interviews?
And you can understand
we're both doing some interviews. We're just asking people what here and what motivated them to come, and hopefully pepper in a little humor. And that's about it. Kind of playing as we go.
Awesome. Have you come across any hostility at all? Have you guys been has it been peaceful for you guys?
I try to be the sole purveyor of the hostility. No hostility though. Not yet.
Thanks. That's fine. So, what brings you here to this rally? Obviously, I see that you have putting the cross on your back and carrying it.
I have my cross here with me. My buddy Chris and I, we came here. We heard about this event. It's a large political rally supporting Trump, obviously, and kind of unifying behind him with all, everybody on the middle and everybody on the right, and maybe even some people on the left that they, see what's going on in the country and they change their mind. And we brought this cross here because we want to show that Christians will not be silent in politics. And, I think that's a great problem in this country. That's because a lot of political issues in the world today, and especially in this country, they're no longer political issues alone. They are moral issues. We are talking about abortion. We're talking about things like transitioning children without, children cannot give consent to those things. We're talking about, just starting wars all over the entire world. And these things are obviously unethical, and if Christians are going to be silent about it, that's insane. Only 3 out of 10 Christians vote in America, and that's a huge problem. If more Christians voted, I think we would have better people in Congress right now. Tulsi Gabbard is speaking right now. She's a wonderful woman. Obviously, she's a Democrat, but it's not about right or left. It's about people who have a strong moral compass, and they know what's right and wrong. People who are running things right now, they don't know what's right and wrong. They're starting wars all over clearly for financial gain, and that's a problem. If more Christians voted and weren't silent on what they believed in, then we would have better people in office, and they would vote on better things, and we wouldn't be in the situation we are now. But there's always time to repent and come back as a nation and turn back to God. And Jesus Christ, He died for the sins of the whole world, and He died to literally redeem us from all our wrongdoings. And if we just turn back to God, we can go back to the way we were as a country, and we can make America great again, like Donald Trump says.
I got nothing to ask this guy. That was awesome. Thank you. All right, so we had a little bit of a technical difficulty. One of our batteries is dead, so we don't have a third take of this, so the interviews are going to stop with this. But as you can see behind me, they brought up Dr. Pierre Corey, Dr. Robert Malone, and they're talking about the medical industrial complex now and all the censorship that went on during COVID and all that. But we interviewed a very diverse variety of people today, and I guess we're just going to enjoy the rest of the rally ourselves, and we're no longer covering it. But this has been Nathan with 1212 Studios. See you next time.